niggas with attitude. And we don't mean it in like the type of way, like the bigot type of way. We mean it as in as we talking to each other. I'm gonna be like, niggas, shut up or something like that.
Yeah, what it do? This your boy Lance Million. We at the Nigga With a Podcast for the Caucasian homies. With a WITTA. It's all right, you know what I'm saying? We understand everything that's going on. This is an unpolitically correct podcast. What's up with you, man? I got my co-host right here. This is nigga Main Man Mel.
Hey, man, you already know what it is, man. It's your main man, Mel. Just kicking it with my man, Lance Mill. We just over here keeping it a bill, kicking that real spill, and it's coming at you real fast. You now tuned in to a
Nigga With a Podcast. I got my special guest here, Val. Val is a motherfucking legend.
man.
Hey.
She's a radio goddess,
You know what I'm saying?
podcast goddess.
What?
What else? Mother.
Man. Even better.
Even better, yeah. Basketball slam dunk judge.
What?
Yes.
Radio personnel. Do you be on TV?
Filmmaker.
Talk that shit. Come on,
Dancer.
bro.
Yeah.
Choreographer.
Thank you.
Artist.
Yeah.
Thank
Let them
you.
know.
Big mouth, opinionated woman.
Talk that shit. We on the right show. This is a Nigga With a Podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome to this podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah,
man,
appreciate
it's
you
an
coming
honor.
through.
It's an honor. Yeah.
Cheers.
Hell yeah. Let's cheers.
Take a toast to that.
Nice.
Yeah. So you said this is the first podcast you ever had like drinks at then?
Yeah, I usually have to do appropriate podcast and or radio, which
Dope.
is opposite. I have a podcast called Seemingly Appropriate Podcast,
Oh, nice.
where we talk about
like
all the
that.
things you're not supposed to say out loud,
Yeah.
but we say it out loud.
That's
so,
what's up. I like that.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah. So for those who out there watching, just let us know a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Val, and I have been in radio for over 10 years. I kind of slipped and fell into being on the air.
Okay.
For the longest time, I worked in promotions and marketing and branding. I worked for the Walt Disney Company.
Oh,
So
man.
yes, no drinking.
Yeah. That's what's up.
And I worked there, so doing all events, promoting all the movies, promoting all of, High School Musical, all
Okay.
that stuff. And then I left because they left Utah, so I did that right here in Utah. And then I started doing promotions and marketing for Cable 93 and B.98.7. I worked there for about 11 months, and then I got offered a job to run a very nerdy event called FantasyCon. I'm a huge nerd. I love Star Wars. I love Marvel. I love all of those things. And so I did that. And then I went to film school at USC.
Okay. Oh, that's what's up.
So I was asked to go on the air at B98.7 to do movie reviews. So I did that like 3 weeks in a row. And then the morning show host quit. And so they're like, could you just fill in for her until we find someone? And I'm like, sure. And then 3 weeks later, they're like, do you just want to stay? And I'm like, all right. I mean, I
there
don't
it
have
was.
anything else to do.
Yeah. There it was right there. Huh?
So there it was. So I probably pissed off a lot of people that worked like nights and weekends. My morning show host has been in radio on the air for 30 years and went to school for it and like all this stuff. And I just kind of was in the right place at the right time. I think that's my life. I've been in the right place at the right time my whole life. So,
That's good.
so yeah, I'm a dancer, choreographer. I've been doing that almost all my life and went to film school at USC. I'm an events. I own my own company, so I run events like big events. So FantasyCon. I ran the Utah Pride Festival one year.
Okay.
And I just really love creating, like building things from the ground up. And so that's me. in a nutshell, I guess. Newly divorced, so I'm in a different chapter of my life right now.
Okay.
Which is kind of fun and exciting, right?
Yeah.
So that's something that I talk about on the show, things you're not supposed to talk about in Utah.
Yeah.
Like being single, like having fun, like drinking,
Yeah,
like
drinking.
right?
Let's take a toast to that.
Experimenting.
Yeah.
Can't really talk about a lot of that stuff on the air. My show, B.98.7 in the morning, is a really fun show, but it is very appropriate. It's a mom show. So we talk about things that local moms and families would want to know. But the show in between the show is more entertaining for me.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Because we talk about kind of real things that we can't talk about on the radio. So, you know, sometimes it gets hard to have to be censored. You know? Yeah. But I love my job. I mean, I get paid to laugh and, you know, just really like engage with people, and I really like that. So, yeah.
And see, that's why we brought you out to the Nigga with a Podcast, because we drink, we talk about whatever the fuck, and we cuss.
Nice.
You know,
nice.
just however you feel.
I cannot say fuck
yourself
on the air on B98.7. I would lose my job. But fuck is my word right now.
Yeah.
I sat my 17-year-old daughter down 9 months ago, and I said, look, Mom's going to be saying fuck a lot over the next 9 months. Yeah. Just go with it.
Just go with it.
Don't say it in front of me, but just go with it.
Yeah. Just doing your job. Just keep it real with your kids anyway, you know what I'm saying? Because the world is full of lies and shit anyway. So
yeah, I think you have to. I'm from a generation, and I don't know if this is you guys, but I'm Italian Catholic. So I'm from a generation where you don't share things that aren't pretty, right? Yeah. You push all those things down. And so I'm really real with my daughter. She's almost 18 years old, and I share with her everything that's going on in my life to a point. There are certain things you don't share with your kids because you don't want to pay for that therapy later. Right?
That's true.
Right?
True.
But I don't want her to be ashamed of things. And I feel like that's kind of my generation is getting over that, like the Catholic guilt and the shame. And especially living in Utah, I think they get it too here. Because I'm not originally from here, but I've grown up here.
Where are you originally from?
I'm from Denver.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I've grown up here, and then I went to school at USC in LA, and so I've lived a couple different places. But I think the reason why my audience at the B likes me is I'm not necessarily as appropriate as they are, but I'm my authentic self on the air as much as I can be. Yeah. You know, I may not say fuck, but they can feel like when I need to. You know what I mean? And they get it because they need to say it too, but they can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I just feel like what I bring to the table, because I'm not a person that's been on the air. I'm a noob. You know, I've only been on the air for 4 years. But I think I bring just authenticity. I'm very just open about things. Sometimes a little too open. But
with a podcast.
Yeah. I don't know how to be any other way.
Yeah.
So.
And there's no other way to be.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So.
That's true. Yeah, so, this is a little something we like to get into. It's a lot of people that's out there that's doing bad, who don't have a lot of money.
Right.
And, they paying 10% of everything they have to the church. And
right.
there's pastors that's out there that's not doing right about the money that's coming into the church. What's your take on that?
So this is my take on religion. I think religion is necessary because us as humans, we need something to believe in. Yep. That's just human nature, right? And I think almost every religion out there is flawed because humans are flawed. I like the idea of people, right? Yeah. But people ruin everything. We do. We get given things and then we innately just ruin it because we have ideas and we are flawed. So I don't think it's just the LDS Church that it happens to. I'm Catholic, and so I'm a non-practicing Catholic. I'm not Catholic anymore, but I grew up Catholic. But that is a hugely flawed church with people doing things that are not right. It has nothing to do with the religion, and it has everything to do with people. Yeah. Because you can look in every religion and you can find good people and you can find bad people that are taking advantage of the good people. Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not just a Mormon thing. It's not just a Catholic thing. It's a people thing. It is. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
do you feel like it's like organized crime? Oh, my God.
I do. That's the thing is I kind of do. I think that religion was started to save someone's ass.
Yeah.
Okay, so when if we want to get really into this, so religion to me is one of my favorite topics. I love religion. I love history. I love all of that because it's human nature, right?
Yep.
And the Bible was created to save someone's ass.
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't want to lose all of the people that were around him. And he wanted to cause a war, and he wanted people to believe in it. So he created the Bible, right? And so it wasn't created for good intent. It was created for bad intent. However, people followed it because they needed something good in their lives, and it carried on for good intent, right? So it's needing something to believe in is a necessary evil. We all need something to believe in. I believe in music. Music to me is like my therapy. Yeah, my dad's a jazz musician, and so music to me is like when I need therapy, I'm either listening to music or I'm painting or I'm dancing, and so, or writing, whatever. But I think we all need something to believe in, and so. The crazy thing about the generation right now is that religion is going out the door because people are believing more in things and technology and science and themselves.
Right. Yeah, the God body.
Yeah, so I don't know that that's necessarily a good thing because I don't know about you, but I don't want to live in the movie I, Robot. We've all seen it. Yeah. It doesn't end well. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't end well.
At all.
How do you feel about AI, man? They're coming up with some crazy shit.
I feel exactly like Will Smith believes in it. Like, I want my sneakers, and I want to drive my car myself, and I don't want a machine to tell me how to run my life, but that's where we're headed. And I think, if there's anything about religion is that it contests that, but I think there's a place for religion and science.
Don't they have a church, the Scientology?
Oh, that's the wrong. No. It might have that name, but that's not the right thing.
I was just down there in Hollywood, and my wife was like, "Look, that's the Scientology." I was like, "Oh shit."
So the thing about Scientology, the religious side of it is way fucked up. Yeah. Okay. However, the business side of it is pretty sound. Yeah. Okay. I actually I have done almost everything. Name a job, I've probably done it. I know exactly what I don't want to do. And I think that's really important. Do everything so you know what you don't want to do. Yeah, right. Yeah. But I ran a chiropractic office for like 3 years, and they sent me to California to take some business courses that were written by Ron L. Hubbard, which is the Scientologist, right? Totally sound business practices. But don't you dare step a foot into that church because you're done. I don't know if Tom Cruise is a real person.
Tom Cruise?
I think maybe Tom Cruise died a while ago and he's a robot. Wow. Like,
So you thinking he's a clone or a replacement?
Yeah, something. Like if you've... because he's like so deep into the Scientology that I don't even know anymore. And he looks the same. You know what I mean?
He's beefing with Justin Bieber right now.
Well, Justin Bieber's trying to beef with him.
He wants to be a clone too. Justin Bieber's a reptilian. You say he's a clone. That's a reptilian.
I'm gonna confess though, like his new song with Ed Sheeran, I don't hate it.
Yeah, look at it.
But Ed Sheeran wrote it, so I think it's okay, right?
Of Usher, so it's like, how could you not like Usher and not like Justin Bieber?
Yeah, I feel it.
By default, black folks had to like Justin Bieber. Like, I'm sorry, you're just like, fuck.
Where's Usher though?
This little
like, I
motherfucker.
miss Usher. I've been listening to Usher all week. I need more Usher in my life. Where's the music?
He dropped the ATL with Zaytoven. Shout out to Zaytoven.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be knowing all the little songs and shit. Yeah. But yeah, Usher just dropped a new project.
Okay, good.
So what kind of music you listening to?
I listen to pretty much everything except for country and like death metal.
So you don't listen to Old Town Road?
No, I absolutely don't.
Little Nas X, my nigga. The fuck?
I change my playlist up every week. I love old school. I love to hear new things. I love hip hop. It has been something that I've loved since junior high, and living in Utah and liking hip hop and liking hip hop dance was very hard growing up here.
Yeah.
Because when I was, I learned how to dance by watching Michael Jackson on MTV. That was the one thing my mom let me do that was amazing is when I was younger, she did not censor my television or my music. And she just let me watch MTV. Yeah. And because the only dance classes that they have here is you go to ballet, you go to tap, you go to drill. I hate drill. I think that's the stupidest shit I've ever seen.
Drill.
Drill dance. I don't like it. And so I actually started teaching hip hop at 13 because nobody taught it.
Oh, you
like
were
real
teaching at
hip hop.
13?
Yeah, because so I was watching the music videos and learning, and then I would go to dance class and just kind of be doing freestyle during whatever, and then I started teaching at different studios at 13 because they would teach jazz that they would make the hip hop face, that little. Yeah, and I'm like, what are you doing right now? What are you doing? That's original duck face was like, Utah hip hop. And then they would like move their booty a little bit. Yeah. And I was like, wait a second. And when I was younger.
You mean to tell me Utah hip hop dance started the duck face? I respect it.
I feel like that did. I feel like that was, I feel like it started here. But when I was younger, I was super tan because I am Italian, but I had long, like, curly hair. I actually looked Hispanic. A lot of people thought that I was Hispanic. And so I think they thought it was okay that I was teaching. Because right now you would not guess. People are like, you're almost 40. You're a white mom that lives in Utah. And I'm from my family's from northern Italy, but I'm also Scottish. So I'm an asshole. I just have an opinion and I'm going to tell you about it. Yeah. I don't even have to drink. You just shake me up and then push because I got the liquors flowing from all sides. But yeah, so I've been teaching for a long time. But I teach like urban hip hop, funk, that kind of stuff.
Like common dancing.
Yes, and house and pop and lock and breakdancing and that, like old school. Hip hop. And so I've been teaching for a long time. I stopped for a while because I just was so busy with work, but I actually did some choreography for a religious musical called Rise, where it was funny because they're like, we need a hip hop piece. And it's all the Marys, Mary Magdalene, Mary. And I'm like, okay, so you're telling me you want me to choreograph a hip-hop piece to the story of Jesus' death, the resurrection, and I get there and the music is not hip-hop at all.
Yeah, they're playing some fucking choir shit.
So, no, I mean, it was all right music.
It had an 808?
But, so I'm like, this is a little contemporary, but I did manage to make it a little more urban and everything. And I was happy and they had a black Jesus. So historically correct.
Okay.
I was very excited. Historically correct. Black Jesus, historically correct.
Where was this place at? We're
it's at K2 tonight called Rise. Good music, good actors. Black Jesus. Because we all know, I mean, history. Jesus was not white. He was brown. Yeah. So.
And Jesus was a real person, too.
I don't know if he was a good carpenter, though. Nobody ever says that. Was he a good carpenter or was he, like, just okay? We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
We have no idea.
They hiding it from us or what?
If the nigga can turn water into wine, that nigga can carpent.
I hear that.
I'm just that type of nigga. I'm like, if I got the power to do this one thing, because I've been trying my whole life. I've been trying to get these superpowers to work. I know
but that's his mind. He doesn't necessarily have to use his hands.
Yeah.
So you don't know. You don't. Where's the History Channel in that? Yeah. You know, where?
We need to bring this to Joe Rogan.
Exactly.
Find out what's going on with this nigga. Yeah, I be wondering that though. You know, like I was born into the church and everything like every other person in America.
Which church are you talking about?
The Catholic.
Okay. Because in Utah, the church is a different church.
That is true, huh?
Yeah.
It is.
If you're in Boston, the church is the Catholic church. If you're in Utah, the church is the LDS church.
And if you're in Texas, it's Baptist or Christian.
Yes, exactly.
Or Methodist.
Or Methodist.
Yeah.
Or Pentecostal.
Don't play with Pentecostal.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So you were born into the Catholic Church?
Yeah, so I played the religion thing. I actually got stabbed in front of my church.
Oh my gosh.
It was weird. I was like, what the fuck?
But you
happened?
lived, so you're.
Oh yeah,
that was all about.
Arm. It was like a kid.
That was like
Jesus.
We were
playing, and he had like a little knife.
Yeah.
He stabbed me in my arm in front of the church. I was like, where was you at, yo? Niggas was praying out there, yo. Was out there praying, B. Blood was shed.
Yeah. Man.
What the fuck?
I hear that.
But it's all good. I'm into metaphysical shit, so I'm into the universe and the algorithms and the people and the God body gene and the frequencies.
I definitely believe that what you put out comes back to you.
True.
So I am not a practicing Catholic anymore because I went to Catholic school, and I think that ruins being Catholic for most people.
Oh, does it?
You question a priest. I got kicked out of Old Testament class weekly. Because, the Bible is a big contradiction, right?
It is.
And so if you tell me that I'm supposed to love everyone and everyone was created in Jesus' face and all of this stuff, then over here you're telling me that we can't love gay people. Are they a mistake? Did God make a mistake? And I just wanted to know, and the priest is like, go to the dean's office. And I was like, okay.
See, they marked you with the Baphomet.
So how is that, though? You're right. They say you're supposed to love everybody, but a lot of churches don't accept gay people.
Yeah. Which is really funny because if you look back in history, if we're going to go this route, if you look back in history, there were more practicing gay people in medieval times and before, when the Bible was being created, than we recognized over the past 2 centuries.
Because they rewrite history. And
yeah.
tell
Again, people, we ruin everything.
Yeah. What can we put on History Channel?
Yeah.
People swear they know everything.
So that's why I'm not Catholic anymore.
In aliens?
I believe that we are not alone. If we were alone, that would be crazy.
How is it so many other planets and we the only life form?
I've seen a UFO before.
I have not seen a UFO before.
I've seen a UFO before.
I have
was
not.
a kid.
You seen one?
I seen a UFO. I seen them twice. I seen it twice. I seen a UFO. I seen an unidentified flying object.
Yeah.
That motherfucker. That's all I can say.
I think it's a lot of shit
there
out
was
there.
Some shit moving.
I just think that if we are the only things out there, what a waste of space. I'm not saying that the human race is horrible, but I'm just saying we're this teeny tiny salt piece in this vast universe, and we're the only living things.
Exactly.
That's
why
with technology.
Yeah, so
and Earth is not even the biggest planet.
No, so I actually worked at the planetarium downtown for 5 years.
The Gateway?
Yeah, the Gateway when it opened for 5 years, and so I actually programmed the laser shows and I did the live shows telling people where planets were and stuff like that. And
that shit's crazy.
Yeah, we can't be the only living things out there.
So you've never seen nothing in the sky that was like, what was that?
No.
No, never.
No.
Okay, what about you, man?
You
out there in the hold on, let me paint a picture though.
But I don't have to see it to believe it. So
he comes from Dallas, so they got big fields and a whole bunch of land.
That's where people get abducted.
Yeah, exactly. This motherfucker sees some shit in the air. I'm telling you right now, he sees some shit in the air.
I seen the stars move a certain way.
I seen the okay, there we go. So that was identified.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That movie makes you feel shit.
Oh yeah, I was scared of signs. I don't know why.
Oh, Signs! I love that movie. That scared me.
That was a good movie.
Cover your head, man. Cover your head with the tinfoil.
So I just asked because this is the Nigga with a Podcast, so we ask things like that. You know what I mean? Because we want to know, do you believe in paranormal activity?
I do. I don't mess with that shit at all. Yeah. People want me to go. Utah's like a big place where people go and search for evil here, and I have had incidences where
it came to you. You didn't have to search.
I don't want to invite that into my life. Exactly. I believe that there are things out there. There are energies out there. There are spirits out there. Yeah. I have seen it. I have felt it. And I don't want to go search for it and bring it home with me. I don't need that in my... So people that want to go out there and paranormal activity, great for you.
Halloween's coming up.
I'm good. I believe it's there. I don't want that date. Yeah. I don't want that kind of date in my house.
That's real. Yeah. So you're a believer.
I am a believer for sure. I'm a believer for sure. I definitely, again, the energy that is out there, I don't know that I necessarily believe in God. Yeah. I believe that Jesus exists as a person, right? He existed as a person. Yeah. But I do believe that there is something bigger than us out there, and I think that there is an energy, and I think that you can feel it. I think you can give back to it. I think you can take from it. Mm-hmm. I think it's, and I was just talking about this on my Facebook page the other day. You have a choice in your life to be happy. You have a choice to hate. You have a choice to give kindness, to give hope. And when you put certain things out there, that will come back to you as well.
Life is only what you make it, right?
Yeah. Right. So you can't wait around for something to happen to you. Because if you do that, nothing's going to happen that's good.
Yeah.
Except for, like, I guess that's a big contradiction because everything that's happened to me has been, like, happenstance. But I have put myself in the right places and met the right people, you know, to have good things happen to me.
You've done the
bad
work.
things. Yeah, so you've got to do the work. But those energies are out there, and if you pay attention, and I think we don't, especially these days with all of our phones and, like, so much about, you know, social media, we get caught up and we put these blinders on ourselves that we don't pay attention to what's going on around us and what we can affect.
Have you watched the Black Mirror?
I've watched episodes of Black Mirror. Yeah.
Well, you ever watch Black Mirror? I'm talking about this all the time on the podcast.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers are sleeping on Black Mirror. Like, that fucking show is telling you what is going to happen, bro. People are already there.
It's technology taking
Man.
over, right?
There's
AI.
an episode of Black Mirror on the first season, and I don't know what it's called, but it's all about social media.
Yeah.
And
that one
how
was fucking
they
crazy.
can only get housing
Rated.
by the ratings on social media. And I just think everybody should watch that because it's powerful. We need social media, but you need to use it in the right ways, and you can't let it take over your life. I spent years making it my life because of my job, and now I have control over it.
Yeah.
But when you don't, you can kind of lose your life a little bit. And I had that happen a couple of years ago where I kind of I basically had like a mental breakdown a couple of years ago. So because you just get in it, you work hard, and you just do all the things you think you're supposed to do, and then you lose it.
So that was like the Black Mirror one that you said.
Yeah.
That shit was freaking out.
Do you think that social media and all the new technology is affecting the new generation?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's hyper.
I mean, this is the thing. So I have a 17-year-old daughter, and all of the STDs for millennials are down, and pregnancy rates are down. Do you know why? They're not having sex because all they do is text, watch YouTube, and play video games. So it's good that they're not having sex at such a young age, but they're also not going to get into relationships because they don't know how to have relationships with people.
Crazy.
So whether you think, yes, I think it's great that my 17-year-old is not sexually active at 17.
Yeah.
However,
That's
like we're raising a generation that all they have to do is this all day long. They don't have to do this all day long.
Not at all. Yeah.
And so it's a little bit crazy.
It's the programming. And you see it happening in front of you, and it's like you feel like a bad parent if you take it away from them. That's the fucked up part of it. I do. Like with my son, I got a gamer son. My older son, he's a baller.
Okay.
Basketballer.
Okay.
Put the ball in his hand at 4.
Okay.
You know, he's out there.
Yeah.
You know?
And then you
He's
tell
chilling.
kids,
He's
you need
good.
to go outside and play, and they're like, they look at you like with this blank stare
I took
on
my
their
son to
face.
Liberty
What
Park
are you
today. He was like, I want an
talking
ice cream. Fuck. Can't even take him outside because he's going to throw a fit out there in front of the public.
No, we got to push our kids back outside. Like, there's
I get him outside. He's getting a little color. Shout out to Lil Lance, get some color in the My man getting his melanin flicking in a little bit. I love that man.
Yeah,
He's
so
a gamer though.
Yeah.
You know, he like
Kids
seen
love
your
games.
picture. He was like, whoa, because you had like all, you know, the Cosmo and all that.
Yeah.
The Cosmo,
Yeah.
You know, I was telling you about. She's into that stuff. So he loves that shit. You know, and I don't think he's really cosplay. Yeah. I don't think he's really seen the people like really doing that in real life.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a cosplayer. Cosplayers have mad skills.
Jay Whitaker's a cosplayer.
Like I don't think he is. He's a comedian. Okay. He's a comedian.
I don't know. I'm thinking it's like.
So this is the thing. What I think. So yes, I own a Spider-Man suit, and I'm almost 40.
Nigga, you a cosplay.
But I wear it on Tuesdays sometimes. So I didn't make the suit.
I didn't make this.
I don't make money off wearing the suit. I'm just a fan, right?
Dope.
But the cosplayers that I know that are actual cosplayers, they spend so much time and so much money, and they have so much talent putting together their outfits that I would never want to call myself a cosplayer because that is such a skill.
Damn. So
And
it's that deep?
It's that deep. Where I know Jay has put on a costume. Because we've all put on costumes before, right?
Yeah.
But like it's just not at Halloween time when we put them on. But I don't think he would call himself a cosplayer either.
All
Right.
All right. Cause we want to know this nigga with a podcast. We don't be knowing.
Right.
I ain't dressed up since Jason. My mama used to dress me up in a
I spent
costumes and uniforms pretty much all the same though.
Yeah.
the white tees and
Regardless
jabots.
of what you doing?
Jabots.
You playing ball?
White tee and jabots with some Reeboks on some.
Bows and Reeds. Tees, bows and Reeds.
Fucking right.
I wore a Spider-Man suit for 6 hours the other day for my job. And because I wanted to. But I'm still not a cosplayer. I just love Spider-Man.
Well, that's good that you brought that information to the people because
Yeah.
we didn't know the difference. Because like we know what the furry is. The furry.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, we know what that
furries.
is. So it's like, is that close to it? Because you dressing up, my nigga. I was in Atlanta one time, right? I was bored as hell. Me and my wife was just driving around downtown. And we were like, what the fuck is tonight? And it was just like, we drove over by like the Hilton or whatever downtown Atlanta, right? All of a sudden, I started seeing motherfucking Homer Simpson, fucking everybody. I was like,
was
what
there
the
a con
fuck
in
is it?
town?
Halloween? It was the first Comic-Con in Atlanta.
Oh, nice.
And I fucking just drove into this shit.
Nice.
And everybody was dressed up, man. That shit was fucking crazy.
It is
so I
crazy.
respect it. I like it. I
Yeah,
think it's
and then
dope.
so you got the furries, you got the cosplayers, you got the kinks. So people that are kinky that dress up can also wear like superhero-ish outfits, but they're now like in leather and vinyl. But that's a whole different thing. So I wouldn't call a kink a cosplayer either, or a cosplayer a kink. They would get very mad at that. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Yo,
yeah.
Interesting.
You just put me on game because I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, I
appreciate
we
you
went,
kicking that
we went
out.
somewhere else with that.
I just think we need to give everybody like the right kind of respect for what they do.
Because we're gonna
So-
get some cosplay people in here.
Yeah.
I know you know them too. So
Yeah, so I mean, I've had armor. I love Star Wars, and I've had armor made that I designed because I wanted armor. But that still doesn't
armor, like body armor, the clothing.
Yeah, so like I'm a huge fan of the Mandalorians, so I have like a helmet and armor that represents Star Wars.
Armor.
Yeah,
Okay.
armor. But I wouldn't call myself a cosplayer because it's still I just wanted it and I wear it every once in a while. But the cosplayers that I know that make that and have Lucasfilms actually say this is legit, you represent Lucasfilms now, you can go do this for charity. Like I would not put myself in that category because they've done so much work to get there that
That's hard.
yeah.
That's what's up.
That's interesting too. I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's dope. I love that. I love that Utah, Salt Lake City, downtown Salt Lake is just into everything. We like.
You can find everything here. What are you into? It's
Right.
here now. And it's not even hiding anymore. I feel like
Yeah.
when I was younger,
Yeah.
it was hiding. You had to go search for it in a
Yeah.
dark alley. And now we're letting our freak flag fly.
Oh,
like you
shit.
can get good music here now. You can find good dance here now.
Food.
You can get good
I love the
food. I love food so much. You can have all the nerdy stuff. It is such a good time to be a nerd right now in Utah.
It's all about evolving, making
Yeah.
progression.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody's hiding anymore. I mean, there's still people hiding, but you know, it is.
But
what
so
it
I
is.
want to ask you. So how long have you been doing the podcast, and like how long have you been? Because when I think of radio personnels, I think of like original podcasters. They just
Right.
didn't have the title,
Right.
because the name podcast or whatever is
Right.
like. So I don't know.
So I've been live on the radio for 4 years,
Dope.
and I think that's the difference. So podcasting isn't necessarily live,
Yeah, facts.
and podcasting isn't necessarily censored. Whereas radio, we have a bunch of rules that we have to go by.
follow, yeah.
And I'm new into having my own podcasts, but I've been participating in other people's podcasts for years. My newest podcast that I just love is called Movies That Make Us, and we talk about all of the movies that have influenced our lives, old and new.
Like New Jack City. Shout out to New Jack City.
Yeah, we need.
Nigga learned a lot from New Jack City.
We actually need to do
Living in
something.
the air.
We need to have you on so we can talk about that because I think my other two podcast buddies have not seen.
I'm
that
a movie
at all.
buff. I'm a movie buff.
Man.
I know them all, and I own them all too. Like I know I have all the old black movies. I even have I have Sugar Hill. That's a good one. You see Sugar Hill?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I mean? You know where we're going with this?
Yes.
Okay. I have State Property.
Man.
Come on now.
See,
Get
we
down
need
and
to
lay
do
down.
just an episode here about the influential black movies.
Thank you. Shout out to the black movies.
Shout out to him, man.
The Maverick movies too now. Don't sleep on the Maverick movies now. They bootleg as hell, but they got some good stories in them movies.
I want to give a shout out to when I was younger and I was in college here. So I went to USC Film School, but then I came
Hell
back
yeah.
here and I went to Salt Lake Community College and I had a professor named Mrs. Davis, and we did a whole semester on Spike Lee movies
Damn.
in Utah. woman film teacher, Spike Lee movies, and it opened my eyes to so many things and the respect for Spike Lee, and I'm so glad that he just won his Oscar, because well deserved. Like, I can't believe out of all these movies, you know, Malcolm X and all these movies that he did. I don't know if you guys have seen the newest movie that just won last year, but you got to see it, Black Klansman.
I heard about it with his son.
Well, it has Denzel's son in it, yes, but it also has. So the coolest thing, so it has Denzel's son in it, but the coolest thing about the movie is, so if I'm a big Star Wars fan, is it has Kylo Ren in this movie, and his name's Adam Driver. And it's his best performance ever in any movie I've ever seen. But this movie, what Spike Lee does with his movies is he has no apologies with the statement that he's trying to make. But he makes a statement in a humorous way, but also in a thoughtful way. So you're going to walk away with questions. You're going to want to go learn more about what he just showed you. But there's also some humor there. There's also some humility there.
My favorite Spike Lee movie is Crooklyn.
Crooklyn, nice.
I love
See, Spike Lee put a lot of people on. Denzel Washington.
Yes.
You know, he was in a lot of his movies when he first started.
What about John Singleton? I had this in the conversation. This is a barbershop conversation. I just literally had this verbatim at the barbershop.
I need to hang out at the barbershop.
You gotta come through.
She's gotta have it.
She's gotta have it. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, what about what's it called too though? I don't know. It was just a Spike Lee. The Saint Anne.
Which one?
Flight Saint Anne. Okay.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Okay, you never heard of that one?
No.
Okay, you got wow.
He got so many.
Yeah, I think it was Spike Lee. I don't know. But what about John Singleton?
Baby boy.
R.P. John Singleton.
Yeah, I feel like people forgot about John Singleton.
Already? God damn, the nigga only died 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I seriously.
Fuck.
Yeah, but before he died, were people thinking about him? That's the thing. You know what I mean? I feel like when he died, people were like, oh yeah, I remember everything. He's a
black director. He's what? Fuck.
That's what sucks though, is if you're not making something right now, people are about the right now.
Right.
And I think that's why, because people keep saying that radio is going to die, and I mean, it's changing.
Yeah, it's
But
evolving.
the thing about radio, why people like it, is because it's right now.
Yeah.
So you can turn on your music. I listen to Amazon. I listen to NPR. I listen to podcasts while I'm in my car. Yeah. But all of us at some point turn a radio station on because it is immediate, it is right now, and it is personal. Yeah, true. And so it's not necessarily going to go anywhere.
Well, they said radio was going to die with the video.
Well, they
MTV
also
was supposed to kill the radio long time ago.
Exactly, and it hasn't gone anywhere.
Yeah. Like I grew up in with my grandparents when I stayed with them and stuff. You know, my grandpa he listens to talk radio. Yeah.
I listen to talk radio.
Me too. So I've always been a podcaster. Like I've always been a motherfucker that listens to motherfuckers talk about shit. So it just worked out for me, man. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's just changing, just like TV. I mean, TV is turning to streaming. Movies are turning to streaming.
Yeah, because I got Hulu
radio.
now.
I do more. My job is probably 50% live on the air and 50% social media. Whereas when Mike, my morning show partner, started in radio, there was no social media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like Howard Stern. Oh, fuck.
Oh, could you imagine if Howard Stern had to do social media while he was being on the radio? Man. Like he'd be kicked off Facebook like every day. He'd be in Facebook jail.
He would be fucking way bigger, man. Think about it though, like all the people that like we looked up to like growing up and stuff, they had social media. Fuck.
We would all be screwed right now if what I did when I was younger was on the internet. Yeah, no bueno.
Yeah, that's social media changed a lot.
You got
of things,
Twitter?
so.
I don't fuck with Twitter.
I do. The thing about
Twitter's the feds. No, it's fine.
So I like Twitter because I feel like I can say things on Twitter that I can't say on Instagram.
But
you
know
Facebook.
you're gonna be held responsible. No, it's fine.
They always pull up Twitter.
Why do they always pull up only Twitters? I never see anybody's like
because
Instagram.
Scrolling through Facebook sucks. Like going through somebody's Facebook history.
I love you, Facebook.
Sucks.
I'm loyal.
No, but. Like going through, you go and try and find a picture on my Facebook page. Do you know how many pictures I have on Facebook?
I actually tried that.
6,000 pictures.
Yeah, you do.
But on Twitter, because they're limited, it's easier for you to go back and find something, right?
Twitter, okay.
So, but the thing about Twitter is I can go on Twitter and everybody's going to be like, I'm going to go see what she's saying on Twitter. I can say things there that people aren't going to be as shocked as if I say it on Facebook, which is a family-friendly environment.
Yeah. So is that why Donald Trump's on Twitter? He takes to Twitter.
I can't even answer any questions about him. I don't know.
Because he's on Twitter. I don't know. I don't fuck with Twitter. I had a Twitter. I had a manager.
Every time he riles somebody up, it's a comment from Twitter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So like,
where he
and they put me on this like 8 years ago or whatever. When Twitter first started, I had a Twitter account. I had a Facebook account made. I didn't make none of these. I'm a MySpace artist. I don't have a MySpace. I'm tripping.
I tried to get into my MySpace a month ago. I cannot remember my password. And the email that I hooked up to it was like an AOL email that I don't know that.
Mine was a Hotmail.
Yeah. So long ago, you forgot.
And I really want to get back into my MySpace page. Like, I love that.
So, I don't know.
And people are still using MySpace.
They are.
It's still going.
It's like, I went on it one day. I swear. This was maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. And I went on it. And that shit looked like a fucking ad.
Do it.
For everything. Like, there was like 1 million ads on my motherfucking MySpace, right? This shit was overwhelming.
I kind of feel like you need to have shot glasses here. Like, why are we not doing shots?
We used to do shot glasses. No, listen. I'm going to tell you what happened. Now, I'm telling you the truth.
Okay.
We had shot glasses for Cloth Talk, right? My homegirl brought me some ones from Harlem, New York, and all this. And I dropped them.
Oh, man.
So, yeah. And I'm not like a shot glass grabber.
Yeah.
I gotta grab them out of town, or somebody brings them back to me, or
right.
like shot glasses mean something to me.
They
I hate when you buy the
now
ones.
have the red Solo Cup shot glasses.
I seen those.
So you really have no excuses.
There's no. I have an excuse. I'm a black man. I like shot glasses that have like the Vegas on there.
No, I have Star Wars
the
shot
Lakers,
glasses. So.
See, Star Wars. You know, like I'm that type of person.
I have my Colorado shot glass.
I hate taking shots. I hate
glass.
taking shots at a shit that ain't no fucking shot glass. I hate that shit.
It's because we're not a country. It's because we're not a country song.
Yeah, they drink whiskey out of anything. But I'm saying like I feel like I'm in the doctor's office when I'm drinking shots out of other things besides shot glasses.
You're gonna take that and then you're gonna pee in a cup.
Yeah, almost like that. Facts. Almost like that. It's weird. I don't know. I'm a rapper. I don't like that shit.
Yeah.
We got these mugs and everything. You know what I'm saying?
So being a Utah rapper, like I get people, and I've had this for a long time. I used to help manage some music groups because I can produce music, I can hear music, I can edit music, I can dance to music. I cannot play music. I really tried. My dad's a musician, my daughter's a musician, skipped me. Okay. But I feel like Utah rap, sometimes it's like hit and miss, right? People send me their music all the time to listen to, and it's a sad state of affairs. Is it just me?
No,
Am I just getting the bad music sent to me? Because I feel like the rap that's coming out of Utah, and maybe I'm sure there's really good rap because I've heard it. Yeah. But there's a lot of really bad rap.
Yeah, that's an industry though. Yeah, it's an industry.
Anyone, huh?
Yeah, I had to come to the conclusion after MySpace. After MySpace was over.
But I also feel like it's a lot of indie movies here as well because I think what happens here is the production value of sound, both in the demos that are sent to me and the independent films that I see, is they don't spend the money on sound mixing.
The master,
which is the most important thing with an album and with a movie, because if your sound sucks, I'm not wasting 3 more seconds on it. So if you're a musician,
get a master.
Your first song on that demo better be your best song. And if it doesn't sound good 15 seconds in, I don't listen to anything else.
What about the guys with the long intros? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, stop it.
Put
that on your 4th song.
I was listening to my music last night, yo. I was jotting. My nigga said he was jotting. Like,
I have to listen to so much stuff.
Because you're living in the microwave generation. Yeah. Everything's so hyper. People want music hyper. They want food hyper. They want everything hyper. So you got, 4 or 5 seconds of people's...
It's just like when you're scrolling through social media. I'm not going to stop the scroll unless it grabs me. And the music exactly the same. But that's been the same forever. Yeah. You know, I sit right next to, in the office at the radio station, right next to one of the production managers. And he decides what goes on the air. And I hear him listening to music all day long to decide what's going to go.
The same 5 songs? No, sorry.
I mean, pretty much. But
Unity too? Oh, my.
Yeah, that's
Can
not
we
my.
Get a new song?
Yeah, that's not my cluster, but
that's how they put it in your head, though, right?
But he'll just listen, and within the first 15, 20 seconds, he's on to the next song. If it doesn't grab you.
right away,
So
yeah.
the first 3 songs on that demo, and if there's only 3 songs, they better be the best songs.
Yeah, of
and
your
the
career.
first 15 to 20 seconds better be something good.
Yeah.
It's just like a hip hop dancer. Like when you go to like freestyle,
Yeah.
and then you spend like a whole bunch of time just doing this.
Yeah.
Show me something.
Yeah, like where's the
get
dance
to
at?
the
Where's the
trick.
spunk? Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying, like, hip hoppers and filmmakers, get to the trick.
You feel me?
Artists,
Hey, all the artists and dancers, you heard it here first. She putting you on game.
If you are auditioning for something, if you are trying
'Cause-
to get a job, if you are trying to make money, get to the trick.
I know what we're
Right
gonna
off
do.
the bat.
I got something. We're gonna talk about it off camera though, because we don't want to give people any ideas. But I seen Val judge a slam dunk competition last Sunday.
My first time ever, by the way. Thank you.
Thank you for coming, because
Real
you did
good,
an
yeah.
excellent. I think Val gave somebody a 2. I was like, ooh.
That's what's up. It's all about keeping it real. Keep it real.
Damn, Val.
You told me to
I did
be
tell you.
real.
I'm sorry.
That's
So
what it's about.
I told her,
Keeping it
I was like,
real.
give these
Yeah.
niggas whatever you think. Don't feel bad. And she was like, all right. She
you
gave
gotta
somebody a
bring
2.
it. Like if you're gonna stand up there and say that you're the shit,
Yeah.
like bring it.
Show me something.
That's
right?
Show
fucking
me,
funny.
get to the trick.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my new like headline.
Yeah.
Get to the trick.
trick.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I like it. That's good marketing.
Need to put that
Yeah,
on
I
a
just
shirt.
had a flashback of when we were standing there
2.
talking, and I'm like, Val, give him a 2, my nigga.
Man.
It's like a 2.5 or something.
Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah, it was fucking funny. I loved it.
But
though.
you were gonna give him a 0. You were gonna push him out, and I said, well, 2.5.
I was gonna give his ass a 0.
Yeah, I said if the other guy got a 5, he could have a 2.5. So
Cause I'm, I give nicknames out.
Yo,
So I gotta.
yeah,
You do
and
that
we're
to
gonna
me.
do another one
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, Pioneer Day.
going
Yeah,
down.
Pioneer Day.
Pioneer Day.
I'm
Everybody
gonna be hosting, or I'm gonna be announcing the Pioneer Day parade downtown
Lit.
before I come do your thing. So
Hell yeah. I know we should come down there too, because we don't start until 11.
yeah, come to the parade.
We should go. I've been there. I was there last year. I think the Calvary Baptist Church has
Yeah.
a dope.
Nice.
The little float.
I don't know if they're a band. I don't know what it was. It was like a stomp group. It was dope. I
Okay,
liked
was
it.
dope.
nice.
Yeah,
I
I
like
ain't
Stomp.
seen it. I'm gonna
Stomp's
check
good.
Yeah, I was there last year.
I like Stomp because Stomp is music and dance.
Yeah, it is.
Like
It
the
is.
dance itself like creates the music
Yeah.
and the beat. I like
Oh
it.
no, that shit is almost
Yeah.
spooky sometimes. The way they can snap and move and make beats. Like
Yeah.
they fucking nice. I don't
Yeah.
know how that shit is hard. I love it.
I used to do that shit back
Did
then.
you look at it?
Nice.
Back in high school.
I've
Let me
done
find
it
out
too.
you got-
we
you was
should do
stomping.
it together.
Man, hey, real talk
You
though.
Alpha Mega?
Tore it up. Nah,
Is you
nah.
Alpha Mega?
That's college shit.
Yeah,
You know
that's-
what I'm saying? I never pledged or anything. But back in high
pledged.
school though.
You playing football? You was running the rock?
Football.
Or throwing the
nah,
rock?
I was tackling.
Are you tackling?
Busting heads.
Okay,
You know what I'm
man,
saying?
man,
I
you
ran
know,
I ran the rock back in Little League though.
Oh, word.
That was the last time though.
I was a little afraid coming in here tonight because I wasn't sure if
What?
I was like, can I say this, like too white to be here? I don't know.
Oh,
Never
man.
that.
Welcome to Utah.
You know.
We're the
We welcome everybody.
We're the
Nice.
99%.
Nice.
No.
Yeah.
Somebody told that though. They were on the podcast and they were like, oh, we was on the podcast yesterday. We did a podcast with my homeboy Rashad yesterday for Mind the Muscle. And he was like, when I go to Home to Pay, it's like we the 100%. I was like, damn, nigga, you cooking. I didn't think about it like that. You're
Yeah.
right. We the 100% at
Yes.
that point.
Yes.
Right there. Slam dunk
Except for
competition.
when I was there. I walked in and then you were the 99%.
Let's go, baby.
go.
Let's go. We cooking. You know,
Nice.
and that shit
Cooking,
means a
baby.
lot to me,
Nice. No,
actually.
I love it.
And you know what? I didn't set out to do like a black event.
Right.
You know, nobody
Yeah.
does that.
No,
Like,
no.
You gotta be a racist motherfucker to just be like, this is fucking,
Yeah.
it's a black power tournament.
Yeah.
Nigga, there's only 6 of you guys.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You cannot have a basketball tournament with only y'all, the cousins and the uncles. You
The
know,
cousins and the uncles.
you know, I'm just saying.
Uncles, huh?
You know, and
It was a good event, though. It was
I
really
appreciate
fun.
that.
It
That
was
was our
good
8th,
turnout.
that was our 8th year anniversary.
nice. I liked it.
It's just gonna keep growing.
It always grows, man, and it's crazy because I got a lot of stuff to talk about that, but we're not gonna get into that right now.
Yeah.
But the 24th, we will see you out there. We will
Yeah.
be at the parade. We're gonna have to see if we can get the team
Yeah.
to come out and we can get that shit
I'm
on
taking a selfie
documented.
because that's what I do.
Yeah.
So
Selfie.
we're gonna
Hold
do
on, let me
this
get my
live. We're gonna do this live.
Man, you made me.
Nice.
Selfie. Let's go, baby.
Yes.
Nigga with a podcast. Got Val up in this motherfucking. Val's a motherfucking gangster. I told y'all.
Yo.
Had that shit for y'all.
Yo.
Hell yeah.
We had a good time. We appreciate you coming through.
Thank you for having
This
me.
is a
I
gift,
loved
too.
being here. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and take that
Nigga with a podcast, baby.
Thank
you know what I'm saying?
you.
You know, we got. How did you like the hidden vodka?
Oh, it's amazing. I've never had it before. It's so smooth.
Yeah, West Valley.
I like it.
That's why they call it
I mean,
hidden.
I lived there for a long time, so I feel like that's my home vodka there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's what we try to do, man. We try to make everybody feel at home and
like
be
it.
comfortable when they come on the podcast. So I'm glad you came.
Thank you for
you so
having me.
much for giving us your time and coming down and blessing.
And if you guys are gonna do a movie podcast, I better be back.
No, we're gonna get a movie podcast. We're gonna set that up. We're gonna set that up now. We're gonna set that up now.
Nice.
Yeah, I got some movies for you. I'm gonna bring the physical movie too.
Nice. Physical, not the digital, not the in the cloud movie.
Yeah,
but
you're
the
like, hey,
physical in your
look at my
hand
phone though.
movie.
Look at the phone. Swipe to the left. Is that what they swiping to the left? Swipe to the left.
Oh, I just barely started that. That
Oh,
shit's
shit.
crazy.
The
crazy.
Tinder.
It is crazy. I had to shut Tinder off. That's a whole
I
different
shut
podcast.
Shout out to the Tinder lovers.
Sliding into my DM every day is a thing.
Ooh, slide into the
All right,
DM.
cheers to that.
Cheers
Thank
to
you
that.
for having
Thanks for
me.
coming out. Nigga with a podcast. We out. Hey, Mel, take them out, man.
Hey, man, you already know, man. It's your main man, Mel, kicking in with my man, Lance Emil. We just over here keeping it a bill, kicking that real spill, and it's coming at you real fast. You now tuned in to a
Nigga with a podcast. We out of here, y'all. Word up.